Let's see how to find the Maclaurin series for f of x, which equals to the exponential of x²+x. And since the Maclaurin series will be an infinite sum, I'll be more specific and say that we'll find the Maclaurin series for this function up to the x to the power of 4 term. Put simply, here we're dealing with a composite function, and the method we'll be using here is the method of substitution. And here's the whole idea. We've already seen that the Maclaurin series for the exponential function e of x is equal to 1 plus x squared over 2 factorial plus x cubed over 3 factorial plus x to the power of 4 over 4 factorial or factorial 4, and the series carries on forever that way. And now the good news is all we have to do to find the Maclaurin series for e to the x²+x is replace every single x we see inside the Maclaurin series for e of x by x²+x. That's the method of substitution. And I'll go ahead and write that e of x²+x is equal to 1 plus x²+x plus, in parentheses, x² + x raised to the power of 2 over 2 factorial plus x² + x raised to the power of 3 over 3 factorial plus x² + x raised to the power of 4 over 4 factorial, and I'll write 3 little dots at the end there. Notice here that I stopped at the x to the power of 4 term in my Maclaurin series for e of x, since, as I said, we'll be stopping at the x to the power of 4 term. Okay, now as you can probably guess, we're going to have to open up each of these pairs of parentheses, gather like terms, and get rid of any power of x which is greater than x to the power of 4. And when I say get rid of, I simply mean they'll be included in the 3 dots that we have at the end of our series. And the way I like to do that is to take care of each of these pairs of parentheses separately, so that I can focus on one thing at a time. So if I take care of x² + x squared, well, that will be equal to x to the power of 4 plus 2x³ plus x squared. Now if I look at the x² + x cubed, if I quickly write that, we have x² + x cubed. Well, using the fact that a plus b raised to the power of 3 is equal to a cubed plus 3a² times b plus 3ab² plus b cubed, and if you don't know that result off by heart, I would honestly recommend you learn it, as it allows us to quickly take care of this and state that it's equal to x to the power of 6 plus 3x to the power of 5 plus 3x to the power of 4 plus x to the power of 3. And before I carry on, let me point out that we already noticed that we have an x to the power of 6 term and an x to the power of 5 term here, so we already know that we're going to be ignoring those in our answer. I carry on and take care of this x² + x raised to the power of 4, and so I'll write that underneath. We have x² + x raised to the power of 4, and if you're comfortable writing all 5 of the terms in the expansion of this binomial, then that's great. But let me quickly show you one of the methods I like to use to quickly find the terms in this expansion with powers of x which are less than or equal to x to the power of 4. And here's what I do. From the binomial theorem, I know that that's equal to the sum from r equals to 0 up to 4 of 4cr times x squared, so times x squared in parentheses raised to the power of 4 minus r, times the x we have here raised to the power of r, times x to the power of r. Okay, now I quickly focus on the powers of x that I have here, and I'll do that on the side. And distributing this power of 4 minus r onto this x squared here, that first power of x becomes x to the power of 8 minus 2r, and of course it still multiplies the x to the power of r. So we have x to the power of 8 minus 2r times x to the power of r. Now using our laws of exponents, this quickly turns into x to the power of 8 minus 2r plus r, so that's 8 minus r. Okay, so every single one of the 5 terms we get from this expansion will have a power of x which comes from this term right here. And so what I'm interested in is finding the value or values of r such that 8 minus r is less than or equal to 4. Remember, we want the expansion of f of x up to the x to the power of 4 term. So what we want here is x to the power of 8 minus r less than or equal to x to the power of 4, which means that 8 minus r has to be less than or equal to 4, and by all means go ahead and solve that, but that will lead to r has to be greater than or equal to 4. But now since r starts at 0 and finishes at 4, hopefully it's clear that r therefore can't be greater than 4, but it can be equal to it. So x squared plus x raised to the power of 4 will only have one x to the power of 4 term when r equals to 4. Indeed, for all other values of r, so 0, 1, 2, and 3, this x to the power of 8 minus r will lead to powers of x that are greater than 4. And so after doing this type of working, what I like to write here is that this equals to the very first term we'll get, which will be x squared raised to the power of 4, so that would be x raised to the power of 8, plus 3 dots, plus the term or terms that we'll be keeping. And again, we'll only be keeping one. That's the case when r equals to 4, which would be the very last term in the expansion of x squared plus x raised to the power of 4. And as I'm sure you know, the very last term in this expansion would just be x to the power of 4. So after those 3 dots, I write plus x to the power of 4. There we go. And I'll put a little x underneath this x to the power of 8, as well as under these 3 dots, since I won't be including any of those terms. And let me quickly add, before carrying on, that if you need further convincing that when r equals to 4 we get x to the power of 4, go ahead and replace every r that we see in this expression by 4, and you'll see that we get 4c4, which is equal to 1, times x squared raised to the power of 4 minus 4, so that's x squared raised to the power of 0, which is 1, times x to the power of 4, so that's x to the power of 4. So it becomes 1 times x to the power of 4, which is x to the power of 4. All that being said, I carry on and go back to the expression we had here, and I now replace each of these pairs of parentheses by the terms that we'll be keeping. So we'll be keeping all of this. From the x squared plus x cubed, we'll be keeping these two terms. And as we've just seen, from x squared plus x raised to the power of 4, we'll only be keeping x to the power of 4. And so we get e to the x squared plus x is equal to, again, I'm copying this result up here, and so that will equal to 1 plus x squared plus x plus 1 over 2 factorial, which is just 1 over 2, which I'll write at the front here, 1 over 2, times in parentheses the expression we have here, so that's x to the power of 4 plus 2x cubed plus x squared, plus 1 over 3 factorial, which is 1 over 6. I'll quickly write that, plus 1 over 6 times in parentheses the terms we're keeping from x squared plus x cubed, which were 3x to the power of 4 plus x cubed. So that's 3x to the power of 4 plus x cubed, plus 1 over 4 factorial, and 4 factorial, well, that's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 24. So that's 1 over 24 times the term that we're keeping from x squared plus x raised to the power of 4, which we had seen earlier on is x to the power of 4. So that's 1 over 24 times x to the power of 4 plus 3 dots. I now need to open up these pairs of parentheses and gather like terms. And let's see, I'll make myself a little bit of space. There we go. This will equal to 1 plus x squared plus x plus 1/2 times x to the power of 4 plus 1/2 times 2x cubed, so that will just be x cubed, plus 1/2 times x squared. So that's 1/2 x to the power of 4 plus x cubed plus 1/2 x squared. And I carry on, I add to that 1 over 6 times 3x to the power of 4 plus 1 over 6 times x cubed. Now 1 over 6 times 3x to the power of 4 turns into 1/2 of x to the power of 4 plus 1 over 6 times x cubed. And of course we have our 1 over 24 times x to the power of 4 at the end there. Okay, all we have to do now is gather terms. So let's see, at the front here we have our 1 on its own, so that's the 1 taken care of. We only have one x term, which is right here, so that's 1 plus x. And then we have the x squared terms, so we have x squared here, plus 1/2 of x squared here, and I believe that's also plus 3/2 of x squared. I then take care of the x cubed term, so we have x cubed plus 1 over 6 times x cubed, which is 7 over 6x cubed, so that's plus 7 over 6x cubed. And last but not least, we have the x to the power of 4 terms, and so we have 1/2 of x to the power of 4 here, plus another half of x to the power of 4, plus 1 over 24 x to the power of 4. Okay, well, 1/2 of x to the power of 4 plus 1/2 of x to the power of 4, that's just x to the power of 4, plus 1 over 24 x to the power of 4, which leads to 25 over 24 x to the power of 4. And of course we have plus 3 dots at the end here. And we're done. We now have the Maclaurin series for e to the x squared plus x. And in fact, I'll go ahead and box that result. There we go. And to finish, let me quickly show you another notation you may either come across or find useful. And let me show you what I mean by rewriting this final answer in a slightly different way. And so again, let me make myself a little bit more space. That should be enough. And here's another way of writing this final answer, replacing the 3 dots we have at the end here by what we sometimes call the O notation. And here it is. We could also write that e to the power of x squared plus x is equal to 1 plus x plus 3/2 of x squared plus 7 over 6x cubed plus 25 over 24 x to the power of 4 plus a capital O like this, and in parentheses x to the power of 5. And I'll go ahead and box that final answer. There we go. Now, what this capital O followed by x to the power of 5 in parentheses means is that what follows this x to the power of 4 term are higher order terms. And what that means is that the terms that follow in this series all involve powers of x which are equal to 5 or higher. And indeed, if we were to write more terms in this series, then we'd have an x to the power of 5 term, an x to the power of 6 term, an x to the power of 7 term, and so on and so forth. And that's exactly what this capital O with x to the power of 5 in parentheses is telling us. But of course, if you prefer writing 3 dots at the end here, then for all practical purposes, that should be perfectly acceptable in an exam. So I'll go ahead and say it's either this answer or this answer. And there we go. That's it for this first video on Maclaurin's series of composite functions using the method of substitution.